Yeah, it's a bit of a problem. Yeah, I can see how it would be a bit of a problem, but frankly, it's fine. Just as I was about. Okay, so there we go. Yeah, okay, and that should be good then. Currently, I have the video file muted because I'm not going to go into the Exerd set just immediately. I'm going to give people just a little bit more time. I'm going to give some context on the matchup that you're going to see, and I'm also going to talk about the reception to the Rivals 2 video. Overall, I am a Shigum. Good to see you. Yeah, so overall, oh, actually, there's a third thing I wanted to talk about, which is my attempt to have a chat overlay on the screen. You would not think it would be very difficult. Yamashigam actually got a notification. Great, that's good. YouTube doing what it's supposed to do for once. Yeah, so last week I had looked into getting a chat notification or a chat pop-up window on the screen so that you guys could know that your messages were going through and you could see them in real time for that sweet, sweet engagement. Unfortunately, I think I just need to put a bit more time into it, into figuring out exactly exactly how it works, because like I feel it should not be, I feel that the act of taking a text box on the internet and having it show up on my screen should not take like 4 different programs, 3 of which are built in web browsers, plus unrestricted API access to my YouTube account. That just seems like it's a bit much to me. But apparently it's the only way to do things because YouTube's API for this is not as good as Twitch's. So that kind of sucks. The other thing is I wanted to cover the reception to the Rivals 2 video. I'm going to cover that at the end because you guys are here for Exerd, and I've been messing around with non-Exerd stuff for a while, so I was thinking about how to do it. But basically, in short, the reception was really positive from the people who actually wanted to engage with me, and the people who didn't want to engage with my points left comments anyway, so thanks for the engagement. Currently, it's got about 4,000 views, which is really, really impressive, actually. I wasn't sure exactly how it would do. I think it'll probably taper off somewhere around, the upper 4,000s. Maybe it'll hit 5,000. Because I got about 1,000 the first day and 2,000 and up to 2,000 the second day. And it's been a week now, so it's been making steady progress. Regardless, I'm going to clear this loop and start this, and we'll get on with the good old-fashioned Guilty Gear. So, this matchup is going to be Mei versus Ramlethal. Shizuoka Mei versus Yagi Ramlethal. You can see up here at the top it says Yagi Ra because the Japanese only use 2 character colors or 2 characters for this. And I swear every time I looked at this file I thought Yagi Raven? He plays Raven? I didn't know that, and I'd get mixed because he's actually playing Ramlethal. And of course Raven is not Ra, Raven is RV because he was added later, so Ramlethal has the tie to that particular earlier alphabetic categorization. Pardon me, I just hit my microphone. I'm not Ludwig, I swear. Okay, Anyway, as for how this matchup goes, I think of these characters as like, people probably aren't going to like this, but I think of this as these characters as being like very similar actually, and that they're both of these like annoying lightweight characters who just want to set play you to death. And they both have like crazy game-winning set play off of like pretty standard knockdowns, but Mei has a much better time navigating the screen and has way better normals than Ram. The biggest tragedy of Ram in this game is that she's a very one-dimensional character, and she really doesn't have a lot of normals that will allow her to safely do things. You can see here, he goes with the pressure string, so it's like 2 into sword set. Yeah, so that's like, there's a huge gap there. If Mei had just been immediate mashing, he would have gotten hit. Mei could have confirmed that combo, but whatever. Anyway, Ram takes forward, gets a combo. Doesn't properly combo because she can't combo at that range. Mei could. And then we see Ramlethal do 5 KKK and just RC just for pressure, because I forget. No, KKK is a mid. I believe it's unsafe. I believe you're supposed to do it in combos. So he just chooses to spend 50 meter on pressure and plus frames just to set up the sword, and then that gets the burst out of Shizuoka. Yeah. So you'll also notice that the meter disparity, like the tension gain in this matchup, God, these guys are so loud. Well, it's probably, I mean, I'm louder than they are, so I guess it's fine. You'll also notice that the meter disparity between these two characters is huge, because Ram, this is a great example actually. So Ram gets a combo here, and just look at Ram's meter down in the corner. I'm gonna turn off that. Look at the meter down in the corner. She starts 1 bar, and then she just jumps up for one sword attack, and then she does a bunch more attacks and no tension gain, and then another sword attack, and that's it. So it's like she had this weird rhythm to her combos where she doesn't gain a lot of meter for doing them because she only gains meter from swords. But the meter she gains from swords is like crazy, so she wants to root into doing as many sword attacks as possible. And then that sort of feeds back into itself because she can spend meter on Roman cancels to do more pressure, more combos and stuff. That combo also did a ton of damage, which is pretty cool. I'm not entirely sure how exactly Ram's unique meter gain stuff affects or is affected by Tension Pulse. This is another reason why I think Mei is actually like secretly one of the best characters in the game. So she gets a knockdown here. Ram decides to do wake up backdash. Ram's backdash is very good. All the women in this game are lightweights and have crazy good backdashes. So Shizuoka does run up 2H, and it combos, and he does Gatling 6K, which which combos into the beach ball, and then the beach ball pops up and gives him a full air combo for, you know, chasing a backdash. A lot of characters could not actually do that kind of set play. Yeah, you're dead, sorry. That's another thing, is that Ram has to work a lot harder for her damage than Mei does. One of the reasons I think Mei is so frustratingly good in this game is that like everything she does just vomits damage everywhere. And Shizuoka has played 58,000 games, and he's won 41,000 of them. That's just an insane number, pardon me. Well, that's a fun move. Okay, I'll try to just point out this one thing and then let it play. So Mei has a move called 3K, which is this. This move is sort of similar to other slide moves. Like if you play Street Fighter 6, it's like loosely similar to Blanca's slide in that it's like very unsafe. Problem is, this is an old Guilty Gear game, so the low profile hurt box on it continues being low profile even during recovery. So even though the move is like minus 20 or something, it's like minus 30 something, but it has like 27 active frames. So it can actually be like really weirdly difficult to punish. Anyway, Ram gets a punish there and Mei decides to burst. Sorry, Yagi gets a punish and Shizuoka decides to burst. Pardon me, was that 5H Microdash 2K? Oh, that's cool. I mean, I hate that she has that, but that is really cool. Yeah, Mei's 5H is +7? Yeah, +7 on block, so +8 on hit, +9 on crouching hit. It's a rare instance of a normal that's just plus enough to link out of pretty freely if you wanted to do that. There aren't a ton of those in Guilty Gear. Nice F-Shiki overhead from Yagi. Nice burst bait from Yagi. That's another thing that affects Ramlethal in basically every matchup. She has to... She gives you a ton of burst from doing these really long combos. Like, look at this. Shizuoka gets hit with no burst. And it builds all... And from these two combos, he's built back like a quarter of it, like a third of it. So even though he's taking damage, the burst gauge is like... almost as though he did not whiff his burst. Yeah. This is one thing that I think Ram excels at more than Mei, is that the... Well, I don't know if I'd say excels more, but this is one thing that makes Ram genuinely a really good character, is that the set play vortex is very, very good if you can set it up. The thing that defines these two characters is how easy it is to set up the set play. So now that we've gotten some basic stuff out of the way, let's watch the rest of this first to 10. Yeah, oh man. Being able to do the overhead and just combo off of it with a beach ball is so fucked up. She did not have that beach ball in the older games, and they changed that beach ball into a Hadoken in Strive, so I think they understood that it was very, very good. Look at that. Look at that. It covers this beautiful vertical space right above Mei's head. And this is one of the reasons why I think... I hate to agree with Dust Loop admins, but I think that the phrasing of putting things as strengths versus weaknesses is not always very helpful. Because if you looked at Mei's moves on paper, you would say her ground anti-airs kind of suck. 2H and 6H are very slow, 6P is very slow. Or sorry, 6H is not terribly slow, but it has a really bad hurt box for an anti-air. Yeah, sorry, Mei rounds. What is there to say? But if you were to look at how Mei actually plays the game, the fact that she doesn't have ground anti-airs, or that they're really bad or slow, does not actually matter at all, because she has two summons. The beach ball goes in two different angles that will anti-air for her, like occupy the space above her head, and she has dolphin summons, which will occupy the space in front of her head if she wants. The, I think it's the P dolphin, is like the really high one in front of her face. That one, yeah. Basically, she's got two that are like on the ground and like two that are higher up. And she can release them with negative edge. So, no whiff animation. Really good burst bait from Yagi here. Nice. Instant air dash. Shizuoka not blocking. Yep. Oh, that's another thing I should point out about Ram. Yagi is having a surprisingly easy time. I thought he would... Oh, no, he's going for the gut. Oh? Okay, makes sense. Yeah, fair enough. Sorry. One thing that Yagi is doing extremely well is comboing Mei in the corner. Mei is a lightweight with a tiny hurt box, which is actually the best defensive mechanic in the game. It's not a surprise that most of the top tiers have that mechanic. But because Ram has easy access, or reliable access to wall splats, Mei, like the fact that Mei flips out of combos upward is less prevalent when she does get hit. Nice blitz. And this is Ram's corner carry. Nice. Oh, you extend from there? Damn, you're good. This is this thing. This is the fucking late stage fighting game shit that I was talking about in the first stream of Pirate Crew member, or was it Shizuoka? Anyway, Mei versus Raven. Look at this shit. He knows that there's set play here. He knows that there's set play here, and there's a sword hitting him, and he does dolphin anyway, because he knows that getting hit airborne is gonna make it harder for Yagi to combo. Now, fortunately, Yagi is being the voice of light here, so he's actually doing the combo properly, and Shizuoka is getting mixed to death. Man, there's like, there really is not a ton of that considerate neutral game being played here. Like, both of these characters are so good at moving, and they're so fast and hard to catch that they're just swinging, and once they get knocked down, it's so bad. Zach Pascal, thoughts on ever doing a Strive versus Exert video? I've thought about it. What I want to avoid is sounding like an old, grouchy old man just complaining about stuff. So I have a lot of things that I would like to say about Strive and how it's like basically permanently altered the DNA of the Guilty Gear series and replaced everybody in the community with like with some kind of weird theater kid zoomer. That's more of a cultural thing though, and I feel like because so many of the people talking about Guilty Gear are in that mindset that it wouldn't land that well. So I do want to cover like the mechanical differences between the two games, and why Exert is a lot more stimulating than Strive. Yeah, it's tough for me to... Oh, he's going for a stun combo? Nice. It's tough for me to sort of square the circle on making a video rightfully talking trash about all the stuff Strive does wrong, because it does a lot of stuff wrong. But if I sound like I'm just pointing my finger and going, I don't like this thing, then that will make it hard for people to appreciate what I have to say. I noticed this a little bit with the Rivals 2 video. I had a lot of things that I felt were very factual in how I approached them, or very reasonable, but the people who are invested in the game don't care, so they just respond to some imaginary version of me that doesn't actually have anything to do with what I did. And I want to try to avoid falling into that particular rabbit hole if I ever do a very obvious Strive versus Exert video. Although frankly it'd be more like a Strive versus old Guilty Gear video. Anyway, yeah, nuanced topic. I'm sure I'll get to it. I just don't know exactly what I would like to cover, like what angle from, because there are so many little things. Minor thing. Earlier I talked about Tension Pulse and how Tension Pulse interacts with Ramlethal. If you look at May's meter, it's pretty obvious here at the bottom left. You can see there's that white pulse going up. Might be a little crunchy on the bitrate, but you can see there's that white pulse going up the meter. That's her Tension Pulse, which is a modifier. Oh yeah, you can see it there better. You can see it, it's a modifier to the amount of meter you gain. So, the more you attack, the more aggressive you are, the more your Tension Pulse goes up, the more meter you get. This was traditionally something that really allowed characters to snowball if they were willing to... If the player was willing to be aggressive, and that's good because you want to encourage people to be aggressive in these games. But it also leads to a lot of like really wonky interactions and a lot of like semi-confusing things where even people who are good at the game will like misunderstand how much meter gain things do. So they kind of removed that in Strive, and they simplified it such that positive bonus off of Gold Burst or off of Wall Break is like high Tension Pulse, and it's like really obvious. And they also have what is it? They also have this like secondary mechanic which is completely invisible, where if you're at close range, there's like a 10% bonus to it's not even that. It's like some tiny little modifier to the amount of meter you get. Yeah, and it's so minor you wouldn't even know it's there, and they would never put a mechanic like that in the game unless it were for unless it were for the history of the game having it. Speaking of meter, Ram with 100 meter, what does she do? Ram, so again, if you're used to Strive, Ram has Calvados, which is the big laser super. I think they buffed that in the most recent patch. It does like 100 meter, 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 100 crazy amounts of damage. And she has Morthobato, which is just a um, close range invincible super. In this game, she has three. There's a close range invincible super called, I forget what it's called, Capture or something. And then she has two longer range ones. One super requires both swords on her. One super requires both swords deployed. So Calvados requires both swords on her. And in this case, May is whiffing jump H, so she gets caught by it. Funnily enough, I think if he'd whiffed jump S instead, he actually might have been able to recover and block that. I don't know. That's another thing about Ram in this game. She has, like, it's hard for her to get the meter snowball going, but once she does get it going, she does actually, like, snowball and build meter pretty well. I think for a long time in this game, people had this perception of her as not being a very good character because she, like, people were hyper focusing on the set play stuff and the like the chain attacks like this. Like, look at this. Ram did look at it, like no meter, right? No meter until the end of the combo when the sword attacks kick in. So people were like hyper focusing on that, and I think they kind of didn't understand that she does have other things she can do. It's just that they're kind of limited. Oh yeah, it went with the slow low. This is the kind of matchup that people who don't play anime games think anime games are full of. Where you just have two set play characters throwing projectiles at each other and just moving around and being totally unaccountable for everything they do. I've seen so many raw dusts connect. Wow, hero burst. Makes sense. He's got a little bit meter. Oh no. No. Oh. You know, people in California have tried to claim the hero burst as a Cali burst, and I refuse to ever acknowledge that because fuck California. Yeah, this is another thing. May also just builds like a shit ton of meter just flailing around and doing moves, so she always has a Roman cancel on deck. Ooh. And she has a command grab. Real. Yeah. I don't know what you're referring to, but yes, it is real. I'm all real. Okay, so that's Yagi in the California burst. Yes. So this has actually been pretty interesting because essentially whoever gets the first like high momentum knockdown just wins the round. Yeah. So there's Shizuoka is bursting early to deny the Oki, and they're both setting up stuff. Oh, that's something I hadn't considered. Hang on, look at that. Look at this interaction. So Ram sets a sword. May bursts out of it, hitting Ram, knocking down the sword. It's the thing. Well, it's the thing right here. That's the sword. It's the little, what's his name? Lucifero? He's the guy who holds the sword. So then the sword comes back, and it's like there off screen, I guess. Or sorry, no, it's attached to Ram. Right, okay, here's what happens. So she recalls it. Yagi recalls the sword. And then he sets it. What is it? It's... I'm trying to... Where does he sum return? Oh, okay, that's the sword recall. And that's the sword set. And you can see there's this tiny little thing behind the HUD. That's a sword like teleporting to May, because the sword sets are relative to your opponent's position. So it appears here, and then because the beach ball is an active hitbox, it just instantly kills the sword. Oh, you poor character. Oh, blitz but no punish. It's fine. Yeah, this is something that absolutely infuriates me about May. All of her buttons do so much hit stun and so much damage for no reason. Look at this. This is like just throwing out jump H. If Yagi had been on the ground, that wouldn't have connected. And she gets like why? Like why does it do so much damage? What does this character work for? Oh my. She also has like arguably the best dive kick in the game. Bit of a panic burst from Yagi there. Yeah, he's been bursting to preserve meter so that he can try to run it back. Or try to make the comeback with all that meter. Oh my god. He anti-airs with 5k and that's that's actually a lot more nuanced than it looks. So because Yagi had dash momentum going into this 5k, the 5kk follow-up has it slides forward. And then Mei, who got counter hit, has more hit stop applied to her because of the counter hit, which means that she's frozen in place longer, which means that it actually is harder to convert off of it because she's frozen in place, and so Yagi slides under her. Sorry, Shizuoka, not Mei, whatever. That kind of stuff happens a lot in these older games because they just took a visual effect for they just took a visual idea for how counter hits should work and they just applied it, and well, maybe it's harder to combo off of the counter hit, whatever. That's another thing that was changed in Strive. They made it so that it's impossible to do bad combos like that. So that time a moment ago that Mei got the air throw, the beach ball messed it up. Mei can actually combo off of air throw if she has a dolphin set up. Anyway, that was a sick combo from Yagi. Cool Oki. Yeah, and he's instant blocking a little. One of the things about having these characters who pollute the screen with projectiles is that you can just instant block them and build a little bit of meter. Again, I'm not sure if that like affects Ram. I guess because she builds meter from only very specific attacks, having a higher tension pulse from instant blocking is, I guess, less meaningful. Oh, he missed his instant air dash. Nice air throw. Oh dear. Yeah, that was a fun blockable. You got fun blockable. Hey, here's my chance for engagement. What happened here? Tell me exactly why this projectile connected. Tell me why Yagi does the gamer lean back in his chair. Ah, I can't believe that happened. Ah. Projectiles move during Super Flash, right? Cross up? There's a lot of possibilities for that projectile to hit. Well, Zach Pascal got it. It's the projectile moves during Super Flash. So if you look at this, this is something that Mei, Dizzy, Elfelt, I think just those three characters can like practically use. Oh, sorry, Heihyun as well. Heihyun as well, sort of. Anyway, so yeah, so Super Flash is not universal in this game, and you can see if we go back to the beginning of it, my CPU is making annoyed noises at me whenever I wind too much of the video back. But so here's the beginning of Super Flash. Yeah, so here's like the beginning of the super animation. And you can see the beach balls moving and Ramlethal is moving. This is just the startup of the super. Then we go into Super Flash. Look, the ball is at the top of the screen. And in the time it took that to happen, the ball was still moving. Then, because Yagi is frozen in place, because it's Super Flash, he's not blocking, or he can't block, so the ball clips the back of his leg. And he can't do anything about it. And then the whale connects. Oh, and she got a damage boost because it was Hellfire. Cool. Dizzy can do something similar where she sets up the fire dagger or the fire spear I like to call it a dagger because it looks like a dagger, but some people disagree with that. The thing where Necro tosses up the fire thing and then it shoots forward and does 2 hits, she can do that and then do Imperial Ray, and the super flash for Imperial Ray is like almost a full second. Projectiles and Exert aren't affected by stuff that stops time for the opponent, if I recall correctly. Yeah, that's most... aren't affected by stuff that's... Generally, yeah, I think that's a pretty good way to say it. Basically, projectiles sort of exist on their own layer, so to speak, and Roman cancels will slow down people, but generally not projectiles. He's dead here, right? Oh my god, okay. Yagi, it was really cool of you to do the full combo instead of just like dialing into Calvados, but that was a little risky at the end there because he seemed like he fumbled it because he was worried about burst baiting. You can tell the mental stack of defending against Mei in the corner is really overwhelming. So technically, when Mei does this and like whiffs a button and stuff, you should be able to jump up and air throw, but the beach ball is coming down, so you can't move. And even from blocking the beach ball, she blocks the jump in, or Yagi blocks the jump in. So Shizuoka decides to go for another jump in because he's Mei and his air buttons are godlike. And technically, you could react to Mei going up like this and just do an air throw. Yagi is not doing that. He just decides to fuzzy jump out with FD. And because so weird thing, when you go into block stun in the air in this game, you fall really fast after. And I think Faultless Defense increases the speed at which you fall. So Mei, or Shizuoka here, playing Mei, gets to jump up and have like a normal jump arc and a normal jump recovery. Here's the jump in question. I'll slow down this playback speed. Yeah. And because Jump S has no whiff recovery, or, well, not like literally 0, but like barely any, he gets to recover and go for an air dash, whereas Yagi was forced back to the ground. Okay, there, look. And you can see Yagi, he like magnetizes towards the ground, right? It's so much faster. And you're dead, sorry. Anyway, sorry, I should have said Atelier do Vitz. I cannot figure out what language that is, but thank you for showing up. I have not seen your name before. Thank you for stopping by. To be honest, as much as I enjoy this game, I'm not a huge fan of blocking Ramlethal set play or just watching Ramlethal do set play. It's just like I'm happy that she's like one of the only characters in the game who actually has that kind of set play, because if everybody did it, it would kind of be insufferable. Again, we would get into like what people who don't play anime games think anime games are like territory, where every combo is 45 hits, every setup is like 5 layers deep. But like that combo was nice. There are lots of combos like that. Little jump H air off of the air dash into a little Gatling into a knockdown. Oh, he did it again? Yeah, you got fun blockable again, but that's the thing. That's the thing that keeps it in check from being truly broken, is you actually have to be at like a pretty particular distance for the whale to combo. It's the same thing with Dizzy, the fire dagger she sends out with Imperial Ray. The dagger itself does not like actually combo into anything. Oh, and he goes for, oh, that's such a nice little optimization. He goes for the Blitz Ender just to take a little bit of burst. Yeah, see, same combo as before. It's like 5 hits. It's fine. Man, Yagi is really not afraid to burst with like a 70% life deficit. Yeah, kill her, kill her, kill her, side swap. Yes. Take the burst? No. Okay, that's fine. Ooh. That anchor drop, jump 2H, is... personally, I think it's probably the best dive kick in the game, just because it's on Mei. I think arguably Faust dive kick is like better, because it enables like overheads and stuff, but like... I have sometimes seen Faust dive kick not be good. I've literally never seen anybody anti-air Mei anchor drop reliably. It just doesn't happen. Oh, Shizuoka was trying to make that combo so burst safe, he actually dropped it. Okay. This is cool. Yeah, that's another... Oh god, these filthy Mei players doing a Bare Dolphin, or Wake Up Dolphin. They're super... Burst Calvados, no! No, you didn't... Oh, oh my god. Oh, throw? OTG? No, put that. No, trance, no. Oh, that's a perfect example of how meter inflexibility is so important in this game, or meter flexibility. So this entire scramble happens. This entire scramble happens because Shizuoka gets that hit. Yagi does not tech. Black being low, whiffing dust. Actually, I'm going to put it on a slower speed. I want to watch this again. Gets... Okay, Yagi just mashing, hits Shizuoka out of 6k. Sets up the S sword, I think? Yeah. Does not hit meaty. Just goes for like two buttons. Jump H sort of hits a cross up. Weird. Jump S blocked in the air, which meant that it hit earlier, so the block stun wore off quicker. Throw for Yagi. Another throw. Does he actually... Sorry, hang on. Whatever. I don't know if he threw Shizuoka out of something there. Doesn't matter. He's trying... Oh, okay, that was... Okay. He was trying to have the H sword hit late and then use the air dash to circumvent cross-up protection. That's why it was happening there. That's what was happening. He was so hyper-fixated on that kind of mix-up that the Yagi or Shizuoka was able to jump up into the air and come down with a button and kill him. I was looking at the meter that Yagi had and I thought, oh my god, put out the sword, do trance, a giant spinning top super, just do that, and then like run like 3 mix-ups. But you can't do trance unless both swords are deployed. Ram is a pile of every mechanic in this game. She has every mechanic. She has Tekken chains, she has assists, she has like variable normals. Oh god. Yeah, command grab. I try not to complain about Mei too much because the game's not getting patched, but god damn, I fucking want to find whoever thought that she should have no damage scaling on the fucking command grab. Like, Soul is like the grappler guy, and he has more scaling on Wild Throw than Mei does on Overhead Kiss. Okay, the 6k. Was that a raw 6k? Sorry, I want to go back and see that. Yeah, that was just a raw 6k from Ram. Oh, one... Oh, that's gross. That is so gross. Yeah, immediate 2D for the low option, but Mei will... Shizuoka will still get a chance to burst. Never mind. Never mind. I was going to say the 6k input and whether or not it was a raw 6k from Yagi made me realize another thing about Ram that people tend not to realize until they actually start playing her, which is that she has a ton of input overlap because 4S and what is it, 4 and 6S and 4 and 6H are sword set and sword recall. So if she's ever moving around like forward, it makes it harder for her to do those buttons. She has to like make a note of returning the stick to neutral. And because she has a bunch of command normals with her P and K chains, it can be sort of weird to control the chains without going into a command normal unless you want to. Because if you think about a character's P button, she's got 5P, which is a chain. She's got 4P, which is just the first hit. If you wanted to do like a 5P mash, you'd have to do 4P mash with Ram. And then she got 6P, which is an anti-air, which is not amazing. And then she got 2P as well. And then on K, she's got 5K, 2K, I think 6K and 3K. So like all of her buttons have like 4 or 5 different attacks bound to them. She's like a really weirdly complicated character. Personally, that's my least favorite kind of input complexity, when you just have like 5 different actions bound to one button. Looking at you, Under Night. Yeah, oh fucking god, I hate you know, playing Street Fighter 6 has really spoiled me, because when shit is unsafe in that game, it's unsafe. And I'm so sick of all of these characters who just get to escape combos like Mei, having like hard to punish invincible moves. God. Anyway, sick round from Shizuoka. This set has been very, very even. Oh yeah, just empty low with sweep. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Oh, IAD? No, okay. I wasn't sure. Now that was like a pure Ramlethal Valentine round. Just a shit ton of attacks, constantly bombarding you. God, like, I'm trying to find something to say, but like, so much of the decision making is like kind of automated and like focused around the layer 1 of the matchup. Because both characters have such powerful Oki that, like, yeah. And the Oki is, like, so multi-layered that you kind of just have to, like, believe that a burst is going to work. Okay. You're dead, yeah? Yeah, it's, like, even OTG, you're dead. Okay. That round took 23 seconds. Let's look and see what the anatomy of that round was, okay? Neither player has burst. Knockdowns are going to be a big deal. Slight burst advantage for Shizuoka. He backs up. He goes in. Yagi goes up to meet him. Doesn't push anything. That's weird. Anyway, he does jump on the way down. It counter hits. He gets a juggle into the corner. It stabilizes. Yeah, doesn't get like the super ideal knockdown because he was a little bit too far away. Normally you would do, I think it's 2S as wall splat, and then that combos into 5D, but he just decided to go for the sliding wall slump knockdown and then sword set play. And he has 2 overheads there. I believe that was just jump. Yeah, it just says jump P, jump B. Then he gets a combo. That was a hard burst bait. Yeah, he's getting another combo. And this is the really fucked up thing. I hate this. So this is an F Shiki. I don't know if Shizuoka was actually still in block stun here. Yeah, okay, he was. You can see Mei sort of like shuddering because she's still in block stun. This somehow reaches her. I guess she's taller than she looks in block stun, or in her FD animation. So that's an F Shiki overhead, which leads into a launch because of the way that it was timed with the swords. Yeah. I will say, one thing that I do enjoy about Ram's set play in particular is because the swords are such powerful attacks, it's helpful to have things be telegraphed such that they align with the swords. I think that one of the reasons why people hate a character like Raven or like Emilia more than they hate Mei, although they should hate all three of them, is that Mei and Ram have things on the screen, and it's easier to see that the thing is going to hit you, and that the character doing the set play wants to make sure the hit lines up with the projectile. One of the things that's good about Raven Orb is that because it's 4 hits, it just locks you in block stun forever, and I can kind of do the mix-up at any point, and you just sort of have to deal with it. Although there are fuzzy timings you can do. Oh god. There are fuzzy timings you can do which takes some of the bite out of Raven's mix-up game, but that's another story. Oh, Zach, you were asking earlier, Strive versus Exerd. The next video I'm going to make about Exerd is a guide on how to mix up people with Raven. Because I'm really tired of people not doing good mix with Raven. So that's going to be like the next video about Exerd. And it's something, it's a topic that I'm something of an expert in. So that will help to get me back to knowing what Exerd is like and talking in my comfort zone. Yeah, hang on, just want to show off something. I was talking about input overlap earlier. Yagi goes for an air throw here. He gets jump H swordless because... Right, okay, so because the sword is on cooldown, he can't do recovery. So, okay. I didn't mean to do all that, pardon me. It happens here? Yes, it happens here. Okay, so the sword, this is the H sword. The H is vertical, S is horizontal. Don't ask me why the H sword isn't horizontal, I don't know. So that one is on recovery, and it can't be interacted with, can't be recalled or commanded to attack again. So when Ram does jump H here, it's just jump H. If that sword had been active, like ready to attack or recallable, then Yagi's presumably towards the corner input plus H would have resulted in sword recall. And that would have been a different situation because Ram freezes in the air when she does sword recall. There's the variation on the mix we saw earlier, where Shizuoka does jump S and recovers in time to do an air dash string. You're going to do some shit on wake up. Yeah, that was a pure Exerd moment. Yagi wakes up with 100-meter and burst. You're gonna do something on wake up. Shizuoka just does no Oki into YRC to mess with your inputs. And now, yeah, Yagi sort of panics and says, oh shit, my reversal super is not going to work properly. I got to do dead angle. Shizuoka just goes over top of it, just baits it, or is safe to it. So, like, you know, now that we're 12 games into this extremely two ships passing in the night matchup, you can see that there is decision making. It just, you know, it takes like 40 minutes to get to the decision making. Oh yeah, Ram has a dive kick, I forgot. Probably the worst dive kick in the game. Oh, he held blitz, but he got thrown. Gold burst, very nice. Does this... no, it doesn't. Oh yeah, I forgot you can YRC that super. 75 meter for the most obnoxious... never mind, who cares? It's not obnoxious, it's fine. Shizuoka does not care. Okay. Well, I have to say, this has been a very even set so far, which I like to see, because it gives me more to talk about. That's another thing I love about Exerd. You're not seeing it as much in this particular set because they're just swinging and getting counter hit. Poke into move that does not combo. I love poke into move that does not combo. It's one of my favorite things in fighting games. And I'm not joking. Like, okay, sorry. I love poke into non-combo moves because it gives a lot of flexibility. That's what I was going to say. What the fuck happens here? He hops on the dolphin and then pushes jump D. What the? Oh, okay, I see. He was doing, so Shizuoka did hop on dolphin, and he was riding the dolphin horizontally, and when the dolphin makes contact with somebody, if you've inputted a forward dash at any point on the dolphin ride, then Mei will sort of fling herself down and forward. And I think what Yagi was trying to do, sorry, not Yagi, Shizuoka, is do the dolphin, like, hop into 2D as a low. However, because of the clash, his 2D input became the thing that he was committing to in the air from the clash, which meant that he got jump D. Which means that he got this weird hit and he wasn't ready for it. Okay, that's what happened then. Clashes make weird things happen. God, that jump S into late air dash has been paying so much for Shizuoka this whole set. Okay, Yagi, yeah, that's another thing. Combos are a little awkward. Nice air throw. Nice regular throw. Nice. Yeah, you might think that you can backdash because Ram is up in the air like that, but the sword covers a ton of space and it's active enough to catch backdashes. Mei didn't have a seatbelt on Dolphin? True. True. Weird hit into bad buttons is a GG classic. Yes, it is. It's one of the reasons I love this game is there are so many weird hits and they happen constantly like that you get to see people's personality come through because it's almost impossible to just optimize everything and there's always going to be some weirdness happening. Oh, he got hit by the double overhead, but no combo from Yagi. Wow, nice mash. Oh, OTG. Yeah, you're dead. You're dead, son. That's the kind of combo that is like... See, this is the kind of combo that you can't use to sell a game because nobody would think that this is hype. Like, it's not trailer fodder, but this is so cool. Because you mash and you go into a knockdown. And that's not sweep, that's a particular attack chain. And then you summon your character's unique super for exactly this purpose, and then you OTG. That was really, really cool. And it did no damage. That's the thing I really miss about games from, like, Street Fighter, I'd say probably Street Fighter 5 onward. I'm trying to figure out what exactly the dividing point is. I don't want to say the entire Street Fighter 5 era, but definitely like modern games, like probably maybe Tekken 8 onward, like Street Fighter 6 onward. They're just really focused around like really high damage and moves leading into high damage being the correct thing to do. Anyway, they're playing a first to 3 now. Yeah. So Ram Jump H is not an overhead, by the way. That move is a mid. I think it's like the only air normal in the game that behaves that way. With the exception of like dive kicks, like I actually don't know if Potemkin Jump D is a mid in this game or an overhead. I feel like it's an overhead, I could be wrong. Oh? Yeah. That's another classic late-stage fighting game thing. You do a reversal super, you get hit, but the hit is less total duration than the move's whiff recovery, so you're safe anyway. Shizuoka has not blitzed back a single time anytime he's gotten blitzed. Even though the combo he eats is this, into corner carry set play. It's a mid, Potemkin jumpy. Okay, thank you. Yeah. OTG again? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, you're dead. I think if you're the victim there, you can actually mash burst, and if Ram is doing 5p mash, 4p mash, then you will burst on it, but it doesn't matter because the 4p mash is burst safe, and you'll just get hit by the trance as soon as you exit burst invincibility. This is the kind of thing I hate about Mei. I'm sorry, I try not to hate on Mei too much, because the game's not getting patched, but like, look at all look at the shit that Yagi does here in the corner, right? It's like instant block, sorry, regular block, survives that, takes his space, jump instant block, fuzzy jump, jump instant block, has the audacity to try and go above Mei and do something? No, beach ball, sorry. And then Mei, what's Mei hitting here? Oh, okay, I guess that makes sense. And Mei gets this combo, and it's like why does it work? Why does it knock down? Oh yeah, sorry. I had a summon out. You were trying to go near me. Sorry, you're dead. No, fun blockable? No. Yeah, oh my god. It's like, it's so hard to do the correct thing against a Mei. Like, the game is just always a scramble. And it's like 2 buttons? Oh, she's pushed herself away from me. I can't do pressure because I'll just be whiffing. Nice fucking air throw. Set player to death. Oh, that's it. Sorry, that's a little detail here. Little detail. Yagi uses the S sword for Ram, which is the horizontal one. So he's basically depriving himself of close S, far S, and 2S. Far S is the really important one there. So Shizuoka blocks this pressure and then does Dolphin, and then does Dolphin again, and Yagi actually instant blocks it, and this move is like semi-punishable. I think it's around -10 if you instant block it. I just looked up the frame data fairly recently, actually, but you can generally push like 10-ish frame moves and they'll hit me. In the older games, it's more minus, but in this game they made it better for some inexplicable, unfathomable reason. So, because Yagi does not even have far slash, that option is not even available to him, so he decides to use the plus frames and go in, and actually air to air. And it's a correct idea, because Shizuoka's up in the air, but Mei doesn't ever have to commit to anything, so Shizuoka does not get tagged. Oh no, just do 6H, just 6H 3 times? 6H 3 times. 6H 3 times. Mei players will tell you that that's a really cool combo. It's not dumb if it works. I didn't say it was dumb. I just said it was 6H 3 times. That's all I said, man. I'm not gonna pass judgment. I play Raven. Does Ram just have negative guts? Not negative guts, but I believe she does have among the lowest guts. Oh, hang on. Let me look up something. Dustloop should be cooperating today, right? Dustloop is not cooperating today. That's lovely. Okay, it's okay. Whatever. I'll use a different browser. It's fine. I'll look it up in the background. Yeah, it can be difficult to determine if a character has low guts when you look at Mei dealing damage, because Mei just deals damage in these, like, gigantic increments. One thing I do know about Ram is that she has for some reason, she has a uniquely high, risk inertia. So any risk that she gains takes a long time to start draining, and it drains very slowly. There are 4 characters in the game with high risk bar inertia: Ramlethal, Melia, Dizzy, and Faust. Anyway. Nice air throw. It is so hard to air throw Mei. Yep. Okay. So the story of this round is whether or not Yagi gets tagged by a death combo. Ooh, okay. Before he can spend his overwhelming meter advantage. Nice. Oh, he blitzed back when it counted. He blitzed back when it counted. Shizuoka's a god. Oh, yeah. Oh, Mei, I think Mei's a short character. Maybe you have more frame advantage on her off of 6k? I forget. Yeah, so the story of that round is that Yagi got to spend his meter, and he was able to win. Cool. So now they're playing a 1-2. It's been live for about an hour. Okay, that works fine. Yeah, take the burst. He's been... I think Shizuoka's... Like, it's weird, because I've seen him get a lot of bursts and, like, have a lot of bursts connect. But he's also had this pattern of bursting at the exact, like, panic moment early in the round when the set play is going to be, like, really, really bad. There was a reset in there. I'm going to go back and look at that, because I did not see it. Was that even a reset? Or was it a reset, or was he just getting mixed? Hang on. Sorry, I'm going to examine this round a little bit more. Shizuoka bursts here, right? Yeah. And Yagi gets wall splat, close S, 5H. Okay, no, that was just a mix, not a reset, pardon me. Alright. Yeah, that's another terrible burst from Shizuoka. I think Yagi's kind of got his number here. Yeah, and you can just go into trance here. Yeah, there we go. That's the clinical set play. Are this match decider now? Sorry, like, is this the deciding match? No, it's well, I mean, the score is 9-8 for Yagi. They're, yeah. Okay, finally, I found the guts table. Okay, yeah, Ramlethal does have the second lowest guts. She has the same guts as Sin, And Slayer, weirdly enough. Sin and Slayer and Soul and Dizzy. Wow. And a few other characters. See? Hey, speaking of esoteric system mechanics, let's look at Yagi blocking a few attacks here, right? So he blocks a few attacks. It's a bit crunchy, but you can see he's got about like 30% risk built up here. And then in, what's 80 until 76? That's 4 seconds. And the entire bar does not drain. Potemkin would have drained all of that in like 3 seconds. But because Ram has high risk bar inertia, my favorite mechanic, she gets both of these hits unscaled, or rather Shizuoka's Mei gets both of these hits as unscaled ones. So it's a full charge 6H into H Dolphin into, yeah, like look how much damage that was. That was risk bar inertia. One thing I need to do videos about is weird little nonsense mechanics like that help to make the characters feel different. Oh no, he missed it. Alright, Yagi, now's the time. Throw. That's been working. Oh, the set play the overhead. Are you gonna panic burst? No, you do panic burst. No. You panic burst. How could you do that? Okay. Might not matter though. Yagi is burstless and he... Okay. Oh, okay, okay. Oh, that's fucked up. That is foul mix. I hate that. Sorry to interrupt. But so Mei goes up into the air, right? And it's jump S. Jump S has no recovery, so she does air dash, jump P, jump K, H, D, and jump D has an air stall. It's like a double jump. So she gets an overhead, and this is special cancelable, by the way. You could cancel this into Insenga. Oh, I hate that. Character is for sickos. This is the thing I love about YRC. Yagi was completely correct. He had the complete correct read that Shizuoka was doing Dolphin, or Beach Ball Summon, and he ran up, and because Shizuoka was doing Beach Ball Summon, that gave him the opportunity to YRC, and that made Yagi unsafe. Hey, that's a reset. Look at this. He gets the hit. Yeah, there we are. Look at that. Boom, reset. Fuck you. Unscaled damage. Even when you're getting comboed by Ram, you can't take your eyes off the screen. Good block on the overhead. You're dead, right? Wall splat. Just, oh my god, Yagi, you're so good at the game. Just do a super. Yagi, please. But no, he's just that good. He's gonna take it. 10 games to 8. Very even. That's a very even score in a first to 10. Oh, she's so pretty. She's so beautiful. I love how much effort they put into animating Ram in this game. She's so... She was built to win the hearts and minds of men everywhere. Well, that was a good first to 10. There was a lot of action happening. There were definitely game actions being taken. And then we ended up with a pretty tight nail biter at the end. That was nice. Not gonna lie, I like Ram's Strive hat better. Yeah, that's understandable. I think the bunny ears in this are neat as a reference to the Valentine character from Guilty Gear Overture. But, am I back at the start? No, not. But, yeah, the captain hat is a little more serious looking, which is nice. Oh, it did loop, pardon me. Well, I didn't mean to have it loop, so there we go. So, yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm up at 7 concurrent viewers. I think that's the highest number I've ever had. Thank you. Okay, so that was a bit of an intro. That was... Sorry, we had a bit of an intro. We had Guilty Gear. which is what you're all here for. Now I'll do a bit of quick cleanup on the Rivals 2 video. Um, Ateli, I prefer Exerd look in general. Yeah, I mean, I don't really dislike this drive look. I like the asymmetry with the bandages. I just don't like that they, even for a character who's meant to be like super horny bait for Ram, they had to cover her up and have her like wear more clothing and cover more skin. Because you can't have anime women doing that. But that's one of many things to quibble about with her design. Anyway, Rivals 2. I was really happy with the way that people responded to the Rivals 2 video. There were so there were essentially like 2 or 3 waves of comments being left on the video. The first, for like the first 24 hours, was people like you who are subscribed to the channel, really interested in it, who really wanted to see the video and actually like cared about what I had to say. I appreciated you. And then after about 24 hours, I guess the algorithm started showing it to people who play Rivals but don't know who I am, or who play Smash or whatever. And I got a huge influx of whiny Smash players leaving comments like "not funny, didn't laugh," to that effect, basically. It was a little bit of a trying time, I must admit. I generally get either no feedback or fairly chill positive feedback on this channel. So having an influx of people just like coming out of nowhere and telling me to fuck off because how dare I have an opinion on Rivals it was a little bit, a little bit not I'm used to. But overall, I appreciate all of it, and it was a good experience for me. I can't believe you want the chat function, you right-wing grifter. Yeah, that guy was insane. Sorry, Okay, hang on. Let me go to the studio. Let me bring this guy up. Comments. Oh, for God's sake, where is it? Whatever. Yeah, it's here, right? Comments. Yes. Oh, come on. Mm-hmm. Yeah, whatever. Sorry, there was this one guy who left a truly whatever. He That guy was crazy. He might have deleted it. I can't tell. It's fuck. He might have deleted it actually. I wonder, because I remember what his avatar looked like, and it's not here in the video comments. And of course, YouTube search function for searching within my comments is being about as helpful as ever. Yeah, he did delete it. That's crazy. Wow. Well, yeah, he basically accused me of. So I was during the section where I talk about wanting a chat function, which I suppose I can bring up. Yeah. Community. Yeah, this guy, this section. No matter how many patches it gets. You know the number one thing that makes people salty? Not having control and not being able to communicate. The dudes calling you slurs over Counter-Strike voice chat, building sentry guns under the floor, and spraying meatspin.gif in your spawn room were more easygoing than anyone born in the last 15 years. he really did not agree with that. He left a comment with a timestamp and said, "Disagree. Not every community needs to be like the." If it, he said, if what I wanted was to pass and the game actually did have like a chat function and you could like talk to people, then the game would Rivals 2 would end up like Roblox, and it would be like known as like there'd be all these drama videos about it. That's what he's worried about, by the way, is drama videos. He thinks Roblox is a problem because of drama videos, not because it's like the number one sexual predator platform on the fucking internet, and that it's encouraged to be that way by the fucking cannibal vampire people at the top of the corporate ladder. He also like said he also said something about Charlie Kirk, which is just in really bad taste. And I asked him, why is Charlie Kirk relevant? And I just got no answer. And I guess he just deleted his comment. Wow, it works out. Okay. You know, I was going to say, that leads into the next thing I was talking about. I did ban 3 people. I banned 3 people for the comments they left on the Rivals 2 video. I consider that to be a remarkable degree of restraint, considering some of the shit that people said to me. So one was like the most egregious, which was a guy who wrote like a 9-paragraph comment where in the first paragraph he called me lazy, and then he made like a pageant out of saying how hard it was for him to listen to me call myself a legacy Guilty Gear player, given that I started in 2017. And I don't really typically think of myself as like, you know, somebody who's been playing since forever, but I know I've played a lot of Exerd. I've been playing for years prior to a lot of people knowing that Guilty Gear existed, and I play legacy Guilty Gear games. Like I play Plus R and I play Exerd. So by any definition, you compare me to the average Guilty Gear product consumer, I'm a legacy player. I don't consider myself to be an authoritative expert on the entire history of the series, but that's how I define myself. It also, you know, I was trying to introduce myself quickly, so legacy gear player like rolls off the tongue pretty well. And then he ended it by his comment by saying, you know, this video is like outdated, and if you'd gotten off your lazy ass and made it faster, then it wouldn't be outdated, and maybe you should just do that shit that nobody does. Which is just play the games you like, huh? Maybe you'd have a good time with that. And I was actually going to leave that there. But I was replying to other people, and he was replying to me on other people's comments, repeating and misrepresenting what I had said there and what other people had said. So I realized that he was just some no-life who just wanted to make other people miserable, so I just banned him. The other 2 people I banned were let's say blue-haired neurodivergent males who really did not appreciate me thinking that the female characters should look feminine. I'm not going to go into any more detail because I think you can all read between the lines on that, but I think women should look feminine, and I think it's a shame that a character like Absa is so well modeled and so well animated and has all this effort put into her, and yet it's like she has the proportions of a man. She kind of looks like a male. I've actually showed my friends Rivals and Rivals 2 character designs, and like they can't tell who's a man and who's a woman. Like Loxodon is a man, obviously, because he's built like a fridge. But for a character like Fleet, female, obviously. But then you get sort of characters in the middle who are like naked, like Maple and Absa, and it's like they're like, it's hard to tell because I feel like the people who make Rivals are so afraid of being perceived as like a furry, horny bait game that they just don't want to cross that line at all. Except for Zetterburn and you know, except for Zetterburn who gets to walk around with his giant pecs out, and except for, you know, all the people who are into the built like a fridge body type, that's fine. Anyway, I don't care. They do what they want with their characters. I just think it's a shame that the characters who could represent like the kind of aloof feminine archetype are sort of being held back by the developers not, like, you know, having a no sex mandate. No. Goat girl wearing spats and no shirt. No, 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 she's not for sex. Okay, sure, pal, whatever. Anyway, so those were the three people that I banned. There were actually a bunch of other people who are like really combative, and those people are still there because people are replying to those comments, and engagement is engagement. But the shit where like it's a personal insult to them that I want women to look pretty, or not even pretty, just like feminine. If that's the layer that you can't get past, like don't even bother. So I'm gonna try not to like moderate comments too harshly. I generally don't ever have to because people are good. Like you guys are the best. I wasn't kidding, by the way. You're the best viewers. Even the Rivals 2 video, which is by far my most controversial video, has like what is it? It has like an 80%, like a 70% like ratio. I forget exactly. What is it? It's organ analytics, engagement, yeah, whatever. Okay, so it has a 64% like ratio, which I think is like, I don't know. It's like 120 some odd likes and 60 and like 40 something dislikes, which is fine. We're getting dangerously close to that like 50% number, but whatever. So yeah, despite all the controversy, it has been a successful video. I'm happy with it. I'm happy that I was able to take my thoughts and put them all out there. Yeah, it's good. Thank you all for being supportive of me. Hopefully, the flow of smaller Exerd videos should be more forthcoming. For the rest of the afternoon, I have a bunch of stuff I need to do, so I'm gonna dip out pretty. I'm gonna dip out now. Oh, pardon me, Tilly. I missed your comment earlier. To strivers, you're a legacy player. I laugh my ass off. Yes, that's it, really. Like I played Guilty Gear at a pretty intense level before Strive. Therefore, I'm an old man, or I'm an old player, or I'm a legacy player. And there's always the adage that people who bitch about the credentials of someone as a gamer in a community like this never actually play the games themselves. Like I guarantee that guy who went to such trouble to have a problem with me calling myself that does not play this game and never has. But anyway, that's enough dwelling on the negatives. Positives abound, and I covered them. Got a lot of good feedback. I really appreciated all of the comments. Even if I didn't reply to your comment, I did read it. I read every single comment that I get. It's great. It was a really spirited discussion. It was nice. So that'll be it for today's stream. I hope you all had a good time. Hope there was a lot of Guilty Gear and a lot of entertaining things to tide you over. Next week, hopefully I'll have something. Hopefully I'll have something really cool next week as well. I don't want to get into too much detail. Got to keep that pressure on myself. Ateli, yeah, I started playing Guilty Gear in 2020 with Exerd, and yet to them, I'm also a legacy player. Yeah, yeah. Hey, if you started playing Guilty Gear in 2020 with Exerd fucking delay, you are a fucking trooper, and you are someone I salute. Because I did not love Exerd to have to put up with the jam matchup in 4 frames of delay. Yeah, all right, that'll be it. I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in.